morning, everyone, and welcome to the Weekly SAS Hour. Today is our first episode, and we shall be talking about the free tertiary quality education and the tertiary education subsidy. Gracing our affair is the star of UniFAST Region 7, the coordinator himself, Mr. Humabon and Marollano. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you, sir, for being with us today, and welcome to the maiden show of the Weekly SAS Hour. Good morning, sir.
So allow me first to share with you in our screen, the thing that I would like to discuss. So I'm assuming that most of the students who are in this orientation doesn't know really yet the full grasp about RA 10931. Okay, so RA 10931, it is otherwise known as the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act of 2017. So when you say RA, it's a Republic Act. When you see it's a Republic Act, it is actually an approved law or aprobado na siya nga mga batas or yeah. So we are so lucky that we have this kind of law because this is actually for all the students. No? Let me reiterate that one later when I say all students. No? So anyway, this is our topic for today. And in the RA 10931, there are four main programs that I would like that we, the UniFAST, UniFAST, would like to implement all over the Philippines. So we have the free higher education. So this one. We have first free higher education in BISU-SAS and LUC. And then we have the tertiary education subsidy, or the so-called, the famous TES. So mao ni mga perming yaw-yawon sa mga atong TES grantees. Sir, wa palagi na ang among TES grants, kadugay ba ana? But anyway, so, and then the third one is the student loan program for tertiary education, or we call that one SLP. And then the fourth main programs under RA 931 is the free technical, vocational education and training, or we call that one free TVET. So for the higher education institutions, ang tulura ka programa mao atong i-discuss. But for this morning, I would just like to discuss the first two. The free higher education in BISU-SAS and LUC, and the tertiary education subsidy. Okay lang? Okay ra mo diha? Okay lang? Ilom kayo da. But anyway, so let me start off immediately with the first program, main program of RA 931, which is the free higher education in BISU-SAS and LUC. Mind you, my dear students, specific kayo ang pagkaingon sa balaod. RA 931, Program 1, Free Higher Education or FHE in BISU-SAS and LUC. Meaning to say, wala i-mention diha ang private HCIs or private higher education institutions. So this is only for the BISU-SAS and LUC. Okay, so let me state first this one. What do you mean by BISU-SAS? So BISU-SAS simply means state universities and colleges. And LUC means local universities and colleges. So if you hear this word, it just simply means state university and local university and colleges. Okay, so let's go straight to the point. So para asa man ni ang free higher education or the FHE? It is only for those students, all Filipino students, mind you, Filipino, not including ang mga foreigners, para lang ni siya sa mga Pinoy. All Filipino students who are either currently enrolled or shall be enrolled at any time thereafter. When I say any time, mo enroll siya first sem, pwede, or mo enroll siya second sem, pwede, o mo enroll siya summer, okay na siya. So that's what What does it mean? That is the reason behind of anytime, the word anytime there. Thereafter, in courses or program leading to a bachelor degree. Okay? Leading to a bachelor degree. Meaning to say, og dili na siya bachelor degree ang imong gi-enrolled, it's not included in the coverage. Okay? Leading to a bachelor degree in any ISU-C and LUC shall be exempted from paying tuition and other school fees for units enrolled in. All right? So, meaning to say, in a simple word, og enroll na ka sa ISU-C or LUC, gidawat na ka sa ISU-C or LUC, you don't have to pay anything sa school. Okay? And there are some commotion or there's some problem here. Kaya moingon sila, hay, libre na ang pag-eskwela sa kolehiyo ron. Dili libre sa ISU-C, or LUC. Kundili among gibayran ang ISU-C or LUC sa inyong pag-eskwela diha. So it's not libre diha sa ISU-C or LUC. Meaning to say, gibayran sa gobyerno ang inyong pag-eskwela diha sa ISU-C and LUC. So muna siya ipasabot, no? Okay. So kinsa may atong provider ani? Who will be the provider for this particular program under our 18931? So all LUC and CHED recognize LUC. Okay. So ug mo enroll ka og ISU-C unya gidawat ka sa tanang issue so all over the Philippines pwede kayo ka. So once you're enrolled and accepted, libre na ka. And then, CHED recognize LUC. I just would like to give emphasis on the word recognized LUC. Okay, we still have a lot of LUC or local universities and colleges that they are not yet recognized because those LUC still have to comply certain requirements that they will be called recognized LUC. So, in Region 7, we have actually 11 LUC pa. So in Bohol, we have three LUC. We have the Trinidad Municipal College, we have the Buena Vista Community College, and we have the Talibon Polytechnic College. Okay, so mauna sila ang provider sa free higher education program under R 18931. So who are exemptions to free higher education? Those students who have already obtained a bachelor degree, so di na sila pwede. So students who have failed to comply with the admission or retention policies of the ISU-Cs and LUCs. So there are students, you have really to read the handbook of the schools, of your school, no? Because naadiha ang mga policies regarding admission and retention policies of your school. And then other exempted for the FHE program, students who fail to complete their bachelor degree within the period prescribed in their chosen program. Let's say, for example, you have taken a Bachelor of Education. And Bachelor of Education is supposed to be a 4-year course or 4-year program. So, kung na-exceed na kaana sa 4-year program, then if you still want to continue on free to finish your program, you will be the one to pay for your tuition and other school fees. The government will no longer pay for you because you are supposed to finish that program within the prescribed period. All right, and then other students na exempted sa free higher education, those students who voluntarily opt out for the free higher education program. Okay, I don't think there are students who choose to opt out, no? libre na, unya move out, pujud ka. No. Anyway, so those are the exemptions. Okay? So what would be the benefits, or what are the benefits if the students would be accepted and enrolled in an ESUC or a CHED recognized LUC? So all students availing themselves of the free higher education provision shall be entitled of, first, free tuition for all courses, subjects, classes enrolled in during a particular semester. Okay? And then free miscellaneous of other school fees and similar or related fees. So practically, if you are already enrolled and accepted in an LUC or issue, UC, you don't have to pay for tuitions and you don't have to pay for miscellaneous fees because the UniFAST, CHED UniFAST, the government will pay for you. Okay? Among bayaran ang inyong eskwelahan. No? Ang state university. In your case, ang BISU or Bohol Island State University. So, I'm done with the free higher education under R 8931. So, I think allow me first to continue on with explaining to you the tertiary education subsidy. And after this one, maybe I'm free for any clarifications, or if you have further questions, you may do so. Okay? So we will just continue on so that I can present the most important provision or programs under this R 8931, or the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act. Okay? So let's go on, my dear students. Okay, let me discuss with you the R 8931 Tertiary Education Subsidy Program. And a lot of our students were really asking, kinsa man jud ang makabenefit or kinsa man jud ang pwede sa Tertiary Education Subsidy Program or the TES program. Okay. Sa free higher education, I have mentioned a while ago that that particular program is only for students who are enrolled in ESUCs and LUCs, CHED recognized LUCs. The tertiary education subsidy is for everyone. What I mean that those students who are enrolled in ESUC, LUC, and private higher education institution can avail for the tertiary education subsidy program under R 8921. All right. So, what is the purpose and what is the coverage for this particular program? So, the purpose of tertiary education subsidy or TES is to support the cost of tertiary education of each students or of TES grantees. Okay? So the TES program is established for all Filipino students. Again, I would like to reiterate that it's only for the Filipino students who shall enroll in the first undergraduate program offered in LUCs, ESUCs, and private higher education institution. And it is subject to prioritization and availability of funds. Okay? So my dear students, mind you that you have to understand that when I say all students, there is some sort of a problem here. Inani manggod siya. So every year, our congressmen, our senators, they would give us a certain budget for this particular RA. However, sometimes the budget is not enough for all, for everyone. That is why R 8931, Tertiary Education Subsidy under R 8931, it is very clear in our rules, our IRR, implementing rules and regulation, that those, the TES would be subject for a prioritization and availability of funds. So meaning to say, murag makayong kabaka kung di ay ni mo sir, no? Ingon ka, all Filipinos, pero di matanan. Because of that reason, that because the budget is not really enough, that the budget given to us by the congressman and the senator would not be enough. That is why we would put it into a prioritization scheme. Okay? So now allow me to discuss with you the prioritization scheme under this tertiary education subsidy program. So kinsa may jud ang first priority nga maka-avail or matagaan or maka-benefit aning tertiary education subsidy. First are those SGPPA grantees, okay, or the Expanded Students Grants and Aid Program for Poverty Alleviation grantees. Kani siya nga programa before, this is the program of the SWD together with DBM and the CHED. And the HGPPA grantees, most of these grantees, they are enrolled in our BISU-SAS only. So, and until now, we still have those grantees, I think, enrolled in different BISU-SAS. And I understand, I hope, I think also, in BISU, we still have a lot of HGPPA grantees. So sila ang automatic na makadawat of TES grants, ang atong mga HGPPA grantees. So first priority sila. So don't worry kay murag ang atong SGPA grantees on Region 7 is only mga 80, more than 80 na lang sila. So hopefully by next year, makagraduate na silang tanan. No? Alright, sige. And then the second priority is our ongoing TDP-TES grantee. What is a TDP? So ongoing Tulong-Donong Program grantees. Inalin siya before the TDP or the Tulong-Tulong Program was under the Commission on Higher Education. And the subsidy, the fund for this particular program was taken from the fund given to us by the congressman of each district. Unfortunately, into this budget, wala na ni siya tagai og budget sa atong gobyerno. So nya luoy man kaayo ni sila og dili na sila makapahumanon. So karon ang gihimo sa CHED UniFAST, observe ni sila nga mga grantees. So mauna nga karon, they are already included in our tertiary education subsidy prioritization scheme. So ikaduha sila nga priority. So kanang mga TDP, ongoing TDP-TES grantees. If there are students in your institution or in BISU na ongoing TDP sila, so they are part of this tertiary education subsidy program. Later, ako nang i-discuss kung how much ang subsidy nga ilang makuha. So actually, it's already there. So the third priority for our TES grantees are those students enrolled in private higher institutions situated in municipality or city with no existing ECUC or LUC. Students should be a resident of that particular municipality or city. So, what do you mean by this one? Let's say, for example, example rin siya, taga Ubay ka, no? Sa Ubay Bohol. Sa Ubay Bohol, na usa ka private institution diha. I think that is Northwestern College, something like that. And Ubay Bohol is a municipality with no existing, without the presence of any issues and LUC. So swerte kayo ang mga students nga taga Ubay nga mo enrolled into that particular higher or private higher education institution because whether you are poor or not, regardless of your economic status, for as long as taga-ubay ka, unya gidawat ka ng a private institution, then you are the third priority. Meaning to say, you can avail for this particular program, tertiary education subsidy. Alright? So, mauna siya ang mga prioritization. Ang ikaapat, the fourth priority for the TES. Those belongs to the listahanan of DSWD. Uh-huh. Let me explain further on this particular area. Kay daghan kaayo ang moadto sa school. Ma'am, purpose man ko, naaman ko sa DSWD, nganong wa man ko ma-priority. Ops, let me explain. There is a difference between listahanan and purpose. Okay, what do you mean by listahanan? Listahanan of DSWD, database rani siya. So meaning to say, mauni database siya DSWD all over the Philippines sa mga gitawag nilang indigents, mga pobre, mga listahanan sa mga pobre sa tibuok Pilipinas. Ang kaning purpose is one of the program sa DSWD. Okay, so mauni diferensya sa listahanan o purpose. Okay, I hope it's clear, no? Unya karon ang gihimo sa UniFAST is for the fourth priority, we ask the student to apply to your institution for the TES. And that application particularly is the reason for that we will be able to determine the students enrolled in your SUC who are in the listahanan. So the listahanan would only be the basis of our listahanans would be only from the DSWD central office. So dili na nato makuha ang listahanan from your province, from your barangay, from the regional province, from provincial province, only at the central office. So that is the reason why we ask you to apply for TES, because when you apply, we are going to submit all the applicants to the central office so that maunay among tan-awon kung kani si Juan de la Cruz is really in the listahanan of DSWD. Unya ibalik na sa amo ang approved listahanan from DSWD, and that's the time we can say that Juan de la Cruz, who studied and enrolled in BISU main or in BISU, any BISU campuses, you are one of the listahanan. So maunay atong basis, ha? So when you say listahanan, it's not purpose. Listahanan, it is a database of DSWD, which is that would be the data that our TES grantees are based on. All right? Sige, kumana ko sa prioritization. So what would be the coverage for the tertiary education subsidy? So the coverage would be first, of course, allowance for books, supplies, when you say supplies, educational supplies, transportation, and other miscellaneous personal expenses related to support the students' scholastic expenses. So maunay purpose sa TES, okay? We have to be clear on that. And then allowance for, let's say for example, layo ang inyo sa school. So that would also be used for your room and board costs incurred by the students. So then allowance for expenses related to students' disability. So if you are a PWD, of course you will also be given, and that could the TES subsidy can be used for that particular reason. And then allowance for students in program requiring professional license. It is an allowance that would be given one-time cost only. Okay? So, mauna siya ang purpose or the benefits or the coverage for the TES benefits. So, I hope it's clear, no? So, the TES is not just for the sake of buying a computer or buying an iPhone, no? So, the TES is not for ipalit o ipaayos sa balay. No, it's not the purpose of the TES. So that is solely for your educational support. Okay, so I hope you have it's clear for all of you guys that the government is giving you this particular grants because the government wants you to finish off your studies. Okay, and then I think the most crucial question here is how much. how much should I get if I will be one of the grantees of the TES? So it's there actually. So TES grantees enrolled in ISU-C or LUC would just receive 40,000 per year. So that is 20,000 per semester. And then private HEIs, you will receive 60,000. And then the next question might be, sir, why is it that ISU-C and LUC is 40,000 only, in private 60,000? It's not fair. No, it's not fair. Actually, advantageous ang students who are enrolled in ISU-Cs and LUCs at the same time, TES grantees pa siya. Why? Because your tuitions and other school fees are already free. You don't have to pay anymore for tuitions and other school fees. That is why your TES grants would only be 40,000. Okay? So, and then private institutions, why is it 60,000? Of course, they still have to pay for their tuition and other school fees. Kunya, ang ilang, so 30,000 per semester. And so, let's say for example, ang ilang bayaran sa tuition is 30,000. So, wala sila pangkuan, allowance, no? So, mauna na you students from ISU-Cs and LUCs, you are still in that advantageous side because the 40,000 that you get is already the lump sum. No, 40,000, wa na siya kuhaon. Imuha na ng tanan, kay libre na baya ang imong tuition and other school fees. Whereas in the private institution, they still have to pay for their tuition and other school fees. And then I have mentioned that students requiring professional license na TES grantee sila. By the way, not all FHE or students in ISU-C. What I'm referring here, only those who were able to get the tertiary education subsidy grants will be given. Those who are enrolled in those who would still take professional licenses would be given a one-time 10,000K maximum only. No, katong ni graduate na unya mo take sila board exam, UniFAST would give you another plus 10,000 for your preparation for your licensure exam. Okay, what if you are a PWD? So how much should you get? I forgot. How much should you get? And then if you are a TES grantees, and then if you study in an ISU-C or LUC, and then you are a PWD, you still get plus 30,000 for 1 year. So if you have 40,000, then you are a PWD. So practically you will receive 70,000 per annum or per year. Okay. Same through with our PWD who studied or enrolled in private institution. 60,000 plus 30,000, 90,000 ang iyang makuha. Okay. So now, what about the ongoing TDP-TES grantees? Ala, ang ilang makuha is only 12,000. That is 6,000 per semester lang. And why is it so? Nganong gamay man kaayo? Remember, as I have mentioned, nga kaning TDP-TES grantees na to, murag i-absorb lang ni sila sa UniFAST because wala na sila ang mga congressmen nato karon nga na ay mga TDP grantees, wala na sila fund to support their constituents. So mauna nga amo lang gi-continue ang ilang subsidy according to what they received before. So mauna siya. Okay. So I think I'm done.